Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Detroit Tigers franchise mode here in MLB The Show 21. So in last episode, we basically just did a little bit of scouting for the upcoming draft, and we also started up the season. And as you can see, we are 18-38, which is last place in the AL Central. Now, I don't think this team is going to be a playoff team for a couple of years, but we're hoping with this draft we can at least get some good prospects into our system that we can start building around for the future. Now, before we get into the draft and sim a little bit more of the season, we do have a few comments I'd like to go over about the draft, which are going to help me out a lot. So the first one is from Troy Mitchell. He says all the blue chips are guaranteed high prospects B2A, which if we look here at this thing here, the blue icon on the side means they're guaranteed to be like an 80 prospect that is either a B or an A potential, which I didn't know at first, but I do know now because I've been playing a little bit of offline franchise. So if we look basically at the best options for MLB ETA and best blue chip, it looks like Phil Red is, but the thing is, closing pitchers are not really good to take that early in the draft, so we might not take him. There's the starting pitcher that we were looking at as well. I think he might be the best option still because he's 18 only. So he might be a good prospect for us to take in this draft. There's also another 20-year-old starting pitcher that we could potentially get. There's a lot of good pitchers in this draft, so hopefully that could help us build around a good kind of defensive team to an extent and help out with our pitching because that's not that great right now. There's also like a third baseman who would be pretty good, but this guy's more of a project because it will take him a little bit to get to the MLB, but we could wait on him as well, so we could pretty much get anything that we want at this draft. Now there's also a few other comments. The next one is from Eoin Britton. He says, I'm only 3 minutes in, so I don't know if you talk about this later, but you can't trade picks in the MLB. You could only trade for prospects. So I didn't actually know that you can't actually trade for picks, so it's not like NHL in that sense. So we can't trade players for picks, but we could trade for good prospects. So that's something that we'll have to do at some point. If you guys think we should be trading like Alex Boyd or something for a good prospect, let me know, and maybe near the trade deadline we'll do that type of trade. And the next comment we have is from Dylan Burrows. He says if you could get a catcher, that is super important. So we need to get a good catcher at some point. I don't know if there was any good catchers in this draft. Like if I look, we're not fully scouted on a lot of these guys, but some of these guys, like this guy for example, I might just take him in a late round pick even though we don't have him fully scouted because his potential could be a 70. Or we could go with this guy because this guy might be a 70, but he's not scouted as much, so it's a little bit more of a risk. But it doesn't look like a good draft really for catchers, so we might not get a catcher this year. We might get one in like a future season. And then also Dylan also says in a different comment, he says 162 games in a regular season. How he thinks of it is 82 times 2 from the NHL regular season, but then -2 is how he remembers. So yeah, I'm going to try and remember that 162 games in a year, which is a lot of games for players to play, but should be an interesting year. We're probably going to be a pretty bad team anyways, so doesn't really matter how much games we play, we're not going to be a playoff team. So anyways, let's I think the draft is like literally how many days away? Yeah, the draft is like literally the next day after this. So let's get right into the draft and see what we could get here. We have the 3rd overall pick in this draft. Pittsburgh's got number 1, followed by Texas and then us. And yeah, let's see what we could get here. So the 1st overall pick is Lopez and 2nd is Dexter Young to Texas. Let's see what we could get at number 3. Sort this by these blue chip prospects. So actually let's go to ETA and then look at the blue chip. I think I don't want to go with the closer because the closer could go in a different round probably. I'm still thinking about getting that starting pitcher in Chauncey Mcelroy because his ETA is 2023, which means this guy's probably going to be in the MLB by next season or 2 seasons from now. Yeah, actually 2 seasons from now, so he's going to have like a year of growth in AAA, but this guy might be really good. But let's take a look at what the other prospects look like because we could still take a prospect that has a longer ETA because this team's not going to be that good for a while, I think still. We don't really need fielders this early in the draft. Shortstops, no, not really. Third baseman is still intriguing to an extent, but his overall is not good out of the gate, so he would be more of a project for sure. So we don't need a center fielder. The third baseman, he'd be also a little bit of a project. Like a lot of these guys are pretty good, but their starting overalls aren't great. Like you like the ones with like the 65 overall and 80 potential. Those are usually the best ones to take early in the draft, I think. Yeah, I think we're going to have to go with that pitcher. Yeah, I think we're going to go with Chauncey Mcelroy. It's either him or Andy Weinstein, but I think I showed one of my friends and they said to go with Chauncey over him. Yeah, I think we're going to go with Chauncey Mcelroy here as our first pick and play it safe. He might be our next ace here in Detroit, so we'll take him. Considering he's only 18, he should be a pretty good player at some point. And then we also have our competitive balance round A, which I have no idea what this is. If anybody could explain what the competitive balance round A is, let me know. I know I get an extra pick in the draft, but I'm still not sure on what it is exactly. Okay, so there is also in this next round another 18-year-old pitcher that's 75 potential. Has a solid ETA. He might be the most intriguing since we have him scouted the most. Like, I don't really like taking guys that I don't have scouted fully yet until I have to, so I think I might go with another starting pitcher and try and build up our bullpen. This guy has an ETA of potentially 2023. That guy might be a better option. Low injury risk, that's good. Average injury risk. We don't need a closer at this stage. There's also another young pitcher, but this guy's only got a 60 potential. So I think I'm going to go with Gerald Martin here and hope that we get another solid pitcher in. And hopefully he is pretty good. Now on to our second round pick. Let's just go by this again. We should probably go for like some sort of baseman of some sort. Like there's an 18-year-old first baseman, but he doesn't have good potential. Let's start by potential actually. Right fielder, second baseman, maybe. This guy might have an ETA of 2022. That would be a pretty good steal if that is the case. I have no idea to tell if he's good or not. I think I'm just going to take him and give it a shot. He's 21. Let's see if he is an actual 80 potential, and he might be. Hopefully he is. I'm kind of interested to see how good our picks are going to be in this first year draft, but hopefully we could just keep on building up a good prospect pool. And then eventually our AAA team is going to be really good, and then our MLB team is going to be good. There's another first baseman that's potentially got a good ETA. Potentially high overall as well. I don't think so though, but I think I might take him. Fernando Valdez. Yeah, let's take Fernando Valdez. Why not? Stock up on as much just random players as possible. If they aren't players we need eventually, we can always trade them away. So it's not the end of the world. 18-year-old first baseman. I drafted a couple first basemen I think already in this draft. Let's go by ETA. We could go with another starting pitcher. Yeah, we could go with the closing pitcher now. And besides, his name is kind of fitting for this pandemic that we're going through. Diego Corona. Yeah, he's got actually, if his stuff are accurate, he's got a pretty good pitching repertoire in terms of like power behind his pitches, I think. So we're going to take Diego Corona because why not get a good closer for our prospect pool? Because if we could build up that bullpen and then get our offense good, we are going to be probably a good team in some amount of years. So let's go by ETA again. There's another starting pitcher still. Another starting pitcher that could have good potential. Do I take another one or do I take... No, I don't want a right fielder. Closing pitcher again, no. I think I'm going to go with Charlie Selby. Yeah, we're going to take Charlie Selby, get another starting pitcher. It might be a really heavy pitching draft. We didn't really get a lot of infield options in this draft, but I think our team is going to start getting some good prospects in with these pitchers. And then we could start building in like our infield maybe for next year's draft or something. Let's start by overall again. I don't really want to go with another pitcher. Let's see if we could find somebody that's actually like a baseman or a right fielder. Not great potential on this guy, if that is the case. Which I don't know if it is. Like, let's take a look at the other right fielders. He's the only right fielder available. Do I go with that right fielder? I think I might go with a right fielder. Because sure, there's like closing pitchers now, but I don't know if I want to go with them. We could get some relief pitchers potentially. We could go with a relief pitcher. This guy's not scouted that well. You know, I'm going to take a relief pitcher. Build up that bullpen as best as possible. And then, yeah, next year we could build up into our infield. So that is our draft. We drafted a lot of pitchers, but let's take a look what we got in the draft and see if we actually made some good decisions. So our first pick has 94 potential, and he's already a 69, and that is Chauncey Mcelroy. He's 18 years of age. Damn, yeah, this guy's going to be a very good pitching prospect, I think. Because him being a 69 at 18, that means by the time he's probably playing in AAA next season, he could be in the 70s, and then he could be almost in the MLB by the time he's like 20 years old, which would be pretty good. So he's definitely getting his entry-level contract. Or yeah, if we don't give him a contract, he'll go back to the draft again. But Gerald Martin, he's got 83 potential. That's pretty solid as well, actually. 66 overall at 20. We'll definitely just sign every prospect that we drafted. Eduardo Cortez has 82 potential. He's already at 63. That's not too bad. Fernando Valdez has also got some decent potential. He's already a 75 overall as well. Damn, I didn't even realize that. So this guy could probably play on our MLB team already next season, which means I don't even know who's our first baseman. I think it's still what's his name, Cabrera. Which means Fernando Valdez is a good option for taking over that role. He might play 1 year in like AAA, but damn, that's a good pick. And then our closing prospect in Diego Corona has 91 potential. He's already a 66 overall. Yeah, we killed it in this draft, I think. And then Charlie Selby has an 84 potential as a starting pitcher. So a lot of good young pitching options we drafted in this that have potential. Hopefully they all develop. And then Willie Dudley, or Willis Dudley, is the only one that was not a good pick. He's at 69 potential. He's already at 64 at 19. I think we're going to still sign him because he could be a double A option or a single A option. And then we just like see if he outgrows his potential, considering he's only 19. He could still probably outgrow that 69 potential. So that is our draft, and that was a pretty strong one at that, I would say. Let's take a look. I don't know if it's going to update actually. Yeah, I don't think it updates already. Next season we'll be able to tell if we have a top prospect or not. So let's sim a little bit more. We'll probably sim to the All-Star break, and then I'll show you guys what's available in terms of the trading or stuff that are out there for the trading block and whatnot, and what we could potentially trade away already. Because I think we also want to start making some trades at some point in next episode, just to kind of get this team ready to go. So let's sim to All-Star Week. We should not be a good team, so let's just get the rest of this simulated a little bit. There's a couple wins, which is nice at least. There's a 5 straight game winning streak. Jeez. And let's just auto-fix lineups. And okay, there we go. So we are 35 and 56 at the All-Star break, which is actually a lot better than I expected, but it's still not great. Let's take a look at our stats for the season so far to see who's been good. So pitching wise, Matthew Boyd has won a lot of games. He's actually got a decent stat line 14. That's not that great, but he could still be a traded option potentially. Spencer Turnbull has not been great, I would say, because of his win-loss, but the ERA and stuff isn't as high as I was thinking it would be. Joey Wentz has been pretty solid. A lot of Julio Teheran has been really good. 2.98 and a 1.41 whip. Like, the whip isn't great, but the ERA is pretty good, and he's got a win-loss ratio of 7-3. It's pretty good. And then Matt Manning has been pretty solid. We do still have Casey Mize down there in AAA, so we got a lot of good pitchers now because of that draft, and now Casey Mize as well. Let's see who else has been weird. Gregory Soto has been really good, even though he's not. He's pitched 9.1 innings. That's pretty good actually. But if you guys see anybody that's been like kind of underperforming, or anybody that we should be trading at the deadline, let me know, and what we should be technically going after. I'm open to trading pretty much anybody that we don't need for the future. Looks like we're not even. There's Bo Burrows who's playing in the MLB. Yeah, what's good, we got a good closing pitcher actually for our potential prospects, because we don't really have one in the MLB that's that good. And we need a good closer to close out those games. Catcher wise, we still got those guys. Ramos has been really good. He's averaging a 297. He's already got 12 home runs. First baseman wise, Miggy's been struggling as of late, but he's still got some decent stats, I would say. Okay, second baseman wise, Jonathan Scoop's been pretty good. So there's been some guys that have been over-simulating a bit, and then guys that have been really struggling. Like even this guy's been struggling in AAA. That's not good. Nico Gundrum, 309. Damn, that's a really good batting average. And then Willie Castro's hitting a 317. So our shortstops have been really good. Yeah, I don't know who we want to trade and what we want to trade for, so it's all pretty much up to you guys at that stage. Let's view the trading block and see what's out there. So we're not going to be probably trading for any big names, so I don't know if there's any prospects on here. Probably not. It's probably all more veterans that are on the trading block all the time, right? There's a 20-year-old shortstop in Luis Garcia. It's got B potential. He's 70 overall. That might be a decent prospect if we want to get a prospect. Yeah, there is some prospects out there, but I don't know if we're going to be able to bring them in. But I will go to the trade talk screen and show you guys. So if we were to trade, say, Matthew Boyd, who was recommended to be traded at one point. If we were to trade him, what kind of offers do we get for somebody like Matthew Boyd? We could get, actually we want to probably put prospects, not actual starters. So for prospect wise, we could get a 60 overall C potential relief pitcher, which is not great. There's not really much we could get from him. Like this might be the best option, which is a closer, which we already have a closing prospect we just drafted. But there is some options in terms of prospects that we could get. Third baseman that has A potential. That might be intriguing, but I don't know if Joe Rizzo is going to pan out. Who knows? There's also a 25-year-old first baseman. It's not great. Yeah, if you guys see anything you want me to actually make a trade for in the next episode, let me know, because I am open to pretty much trading any veteran at this rate, as long as we get our good prospects in next season and build up around them. Because we do have a lot of good starting pitcher prospects now that I think of it, because we got like still Matt Manning, Casey Mize, Tarek Skubal might be, if he actually grows, which he might. Yeah, we got a lot of good pitching prospects now. So we want to probably start working around trading for potential infield prospects, I would say, and then drafting some infield prospects for next year's draft. Is there anything else we could do? Let's take a look at... we actually do got some injuries, it looks like. Okay. Looks like Akil Baddoo is out, and same with Victor Reyes, which means we can't trade Victor Reyes if we are going to want to trade for that center fielder. Actually, he's back, it looks like, already, which is good. Okay, let's take a look at the league leaders just for something fun. Yeah, we probably don't have any guys that are all the way up there, but still, I'll just go through this right now. This is in the AL. Yeah, I don't think we're going to have any guys that are going to be up there anyways in terms of any of these things. Oh, wait. We do. Julio Teheran is the best in terms of home runs allowed, but... Yeah, Julio Teheran's like over-simulating, I would say. I don't know. He's a good pitcher, I think, in real life, but I could be wrong with that. And that is that. Let's take a look at the standings. So as you can see, we are 25 games back. We are definitely not going to be a playoff team anyways. But so far we are 19 and 25 on our home field. Away wise, we are 16 and 31. Day games, we actually are around 500, 18 and 26. But 17 and 30 on night games, which is not good. We've scored 362 runs, which is not the worst in our division. But we've allowed the most runs, which is 418. So hopefully our pitching can get better in the next coming seasons. And then wildcard wise, yeah, we're way back. We're 11.5 games back for the wildcard, which the Angels have. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Detroit Tigers franchise mode. So in next episode, we might make a few trades to help our team out in terms of the long run and like in the future and build up that prospect pool. And then we'll probably sim more of the season. And I don't know if we're going to get to the off-season next episode or if it's going to be a future episode, because I'm still trying to figure out how to run the series. So anyways, let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.